In this closing session, just as Stuart talked about the future of planning, Esri Ireland's head of technology will talk about the future of GIS and explain how Esri is constantly advancing the ArcGIS platform. He will explore the innovations shaping the evolution of ArcGIS and emerging technologies that will transform the way you work. Please welcome back to the stage, Robert Morrison.
Thanks, Kira. Embarrassingly, unlike Stuart, I actually think I am wearing the same shirt. Or one like it, anyway. Okay, hello again. In this Road Ahead session, I'm going to focus entirely on AI, and there are two reasons for that. The first is obviously AI is a very hot topic at the moment. It's a technology that's advancing very fast. And the second is because that's what you, our customers, have told us that you want to hear about. Now, that doesn't mean that there are not new capabilities being introduced across the platform all the time. That's certainly not the case. New capabilities are always being added, and they will continue to do so. For today, though, I want to share the direction that Esri is taking with AI and how we are integrating AI capabilities into the ArcGIS platform responsibly, in ways that are transparent, trusted, and designed to deliver real value. So look, I've only got 10 minutes, so I'm going to pack as much information as I can. If you have any questions following this session, just talk to me afterwards, or you can submit your questions via the QR code that's been up on the screen earlier. So this slide sums up our approach to AI at Esri. We're using it to enhance GIS, or ArcGIS, in three key ways. GeoAI is advancing the science of GIS. AI assistants are improving the user experience, and AI agents are increasing the real-world impact. And this is important because it's not about technology for technology's sake. It's about technology with purpose that is underpinned by trust. And our goal is to help organizations such as yours use location and geography to work smarter and ultimately help build a better world. So let's start with GeoAI. At its core, GeoAI is where we apply AI techniques to geospatial data. Now that can mean generating new GIS data, analyzing existing data in ways that help us understand patterns, relationships, and change. Now alongside all the GeoAI tools and models that we continue to release, I want to introduce something new today, and that is location embeddings. You can think of location embeddings as a powerful new addition to your analytical toolkit. Although they're not really a tool, technically they're data. A new kind of GIS data set that adds rich context to spatial analysis. Imagine taking hundreds of geodemographic variables and blending them together in an AI blender. The AI identifies hidden relationships and patterns across geography and then encodes that knowledge into a machine-readable form. The result is a location embeddings layer that dramatically improves similarity search, pattern recognition, and predictive analysis. It supercharges your spatial analysis and provides much deeper context. Now let's move on to AI assistants. This is where we apply AI to make the day-to-day experience of using GIS easier and more efficient. Here, we see an array of assistants that are available now at various levels of maturity. These assistants are powered by generative AI and will enable your users to be more productive. If you haven't tried any of these yet, I encourage you to give them a go and test them out and see for yourself. But for today, I want to focus on two new assistants in particular. The first is the Item Details Assistant. Its goal is to make your data more discoverable, more usable, and more AI ready. Now, I'm sure we've all seen feature layers with cryptic field names, no descriptions, very little context for which to work with. And with this assistant, you're just able to click Suggest, and generative AI proposes summaries, descriptions, field aliases, value types, and much, much more. As a user, you can choose to review and edit, or you can accept the suggestions. Even better, if you have a layer with hundreds of fields, you can select them all and improve them in one go. Now, why is this important? Well, the result is data that works better in web maps, pop-ups, and apps. And perhaps most importantly of all, you have data that is ready for future AI workflows. The second assistant is the notebook assistant. Now, Python notebooks are incredibly powerful for automation, analysis, and data engineering, but let's face it, sometimes writing code can be a bit intimidating. This assistant lives right inside the notebook and helps you write, fix, and understand Python code without leaving the notebook. It's powered by a large language model that's been trained on the Esri documentation and the ArcGIS API for Python. It turns the notebook into a learning experience, reinforcing best practice whilst helping you move from a concept to a completed script. Here's the ArcGIS Assistant's release plan for ArcGIS Online. Right now, AI assistants are available as private beta, or preview. Starting with Q2 release in June, you'll see many of these move into general availability. By the Q4 release, almost all assistants will be in general availability, with just a small number in preview. For AI assistants hosted in ArcGIS Enterprise, the key takeaway here is that right now, enterprise assistants rely on a large language model that is hosted in ArcGIS Online. That changes in Q4 this year. With Enterprise version 12.2, more assistants come to Enterprise in beta, and administrators will be able to connect their assistants to their own self-hosted large language model. Now let's talk about agentic AI. And for me, this is where things get really interesting, right? Because it's about using AI to collaborate and massively extend the impact of GIS. In ArcGIS, we think about two agentic workflows. On the left, we have geo-enabled, and on the right, we have geocentric. Geo-enabled means bringing GIS into third-party agentic ecosystems like Microsoft Copilot, for instance. And geocentric is the opposite. That means bringing those agentic AI directly into ArcGIS to improve the applications that we build. So let's start with geo-enablement, or adding location intelligence to third-party agents. AI platforms like Microsoft Copilot let us build a new kind of software. Instead of hard-coded logic, this software uses large language models to reason and make decisions. And we call this software agents. Now, this approach gives us tremendous flexibility. The software can do more, and it's also easier and faster to build than traditional systems. But there's a catch. These agents are only as smart as the data they can access. And this is where ArcGIS comes in. ArcGIS provides the geographic context that enables these agentic systems, allowing them to understand and reason about the real world. So how does this happen? Well, this can be done in a few ways, but at Esri, we have taken a standards-based approach by adopting the Model Context Protocol, or MCP. You can think of MCP as like the universal adapter. Instead of every app or service having to build a custom integration with every AI model, MCP provides a single protocol that both sides can speak. So if you think about it, your authoritative content is in ArcGIS, the spatial intelligence is embedded in ArcGIS, and if ArcGIS supports MCP, then any MCP-compatible AI can use it, and it makes sense and super easy to bring GIS into these third-party systems. For ArcGIS Enterprise, MCP arrives at 12.1 as a private beta, and then moves to general availability later this year with 12.2. Key to note here are the specific capabilities that will be exposed via MCP initially. Now, once you have your MCP server set up, it's as simple as registering the MCP endpoint with, say, Microsoft Copilot, and give it direct access to these capabilities. For ArcGIS Online, we're going to implement MCP capabilities on a parallel timeline, but with a subset of capabilities to start, expanding with subsequent releases. Now let's flip to the geocentric side, bringing agents into ArcGIS. Okay, so this is an oversimplified diagram of the architecture of ArcGIS. Very simplistically, you have data. That data is exposed to services, and those services are consumed by apps. We're now adding agents into that architecture. Now, these agents can help you administer ArcGIS, they can run analysis, and really importantly, for me at least, they can perform data quality checks. They can undertake validation, perform consistency checks, and ensure that any data that is edited or captured meets the needs of your business. In Esri, we are building these geospatial agents so they come out of the box with ArcGIS. In fact, they already support the assistants that you saw earlier, and they will soon support your own applications. You'll be able to build agentic mapping applications simply through configuration, much like you can now with Experience Builder or Instant Apps. Developers will also get expanded SDKs and components to build their own agent-powered solutions too. Beyond apps, the next frontier is building geospatial agents themselves. And today, I'm sharing an early vision of ArcGIS Agent Builder, a visual design environment for creating geospatial AI agents. These agents are designed to understand the foundational principles of geography, GIS tools, and spatial data. And just like with agentic apps, we want you to be able to build them through configuration and code. Once built, these agents will be able to be deployed into ArcGIS Enterprise or ArcGIS Online and shared just like any other ArcGIS content item. And they can power agentic mapping apps or collaborate with third-party agent systems through A2A or agent-to-agent communication. At the moment, the timeline for Agent Builder is sometime in 2027. So as you can see, ArcGIS is becoming agentic. Agents are already powering assistants, streamlining workflows, and enabling new experiences. And soon, ArcGIS will be enriching broader AI ecosystems with spatial intelligence. Hopefully, this session has whetted your appetite for what's to come. However, this is just the start of the AI revolution, and we understand that some users will have concerns. I want to close with a commitment, and that is that Esri is committed to responsible AI development. Your organizational data stays private and protected. AI predictions are clearly explained, and users retain control to adjust models, and there are guardrails in place for bias prevention and fairness. And finally, for more information on Esri's approach to responsible AI, please visit the Esri Trust Center at trust.arcgis.com, where you'll find a wealth of information on this topic. So that's been a bit of a whistle-stop tour, quite fast, a lot of information to take in. But thank you all for listening. I believe, Kira, Rachel, that's a wrap. Yeah.
Thanks, Rob. It's great to understand how Esri is approaching AI and what we can expect in the platform in the weeks, months, and years ahead. So as we come to the close of today, it's worth reflecting on where we started this morning. We spoke about a community, over 450 people, each bringing different skills, perspectives, and experiences, yet all contributing to one shared goal, shaping the future of this island.
And throughout the day, we've seen what that really means in practice. From the Minister's perspective on the national ambition and infrastructure delivery, to the real-world stories from our customers, to the innovations in ArcGIS, one message has come through clearly. Better decisions start with better understanding of place.
Yeah, exactly, Kira. And I think one of the key takeaways that I would like people to leave with today is that location shouldn't just be part of the conversation. It should really be the foundation. So.
Yeah, and as we look ahead to the scale and pace of development set out in the National Development Plan, it's clear that this isn't just about technical innovation, skills, or competencies. It's about collaboration.
And that's because the ambition to build a stronger future doesn't sit with any one organization. It sits with everyone in this room. The people designing, analyzing, planning, and delivering the infrastructure that supports our communities.
Yeah, and look, I really do believe, I know I said it earlier, but I really do believe that GIS is the engine of transformation because, geography connects the data, the systems, and ultimately informs the decisions that we make.
Exactly. So while today may be coming to an end, the work and the impact continues tomorrow in every organization represented here.
Thank you for being part of that journey and for the role each of you plays in helping to build a stronger future for this island. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
at pitch.
Yeah, see you at pitch.